And welcome to the December 9th, 2025 meeting of the Georgetown County Council. Please take this time to silence your cell phones so we can all be present for the information to be presented. Note for the record, we do have a quorum present. Please join us as Councilor Bishop Cooper leads us in the invocation, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
We gather tonight for our last council meeting this year, 2025. We thank you, Lord, for the gift of this time, for the opportunity to serve our community, and for the challenge and blessing we have shared throughout the year. As we deliberate on matters before us tonight, we ask for your divine wisdom. We ask for clarity. We ask for guidance. Open our eyes to see the needs of our community clearly, and grant us open ears to hear diverse. Help us to understand, to respect one another. Help us to speak with kindness. Help us to listen with humility. Make decisions that reflect your heart for justice, unity, and common good. We pray for a spirit of unity among us, that we may work together effectively, remembering the good and the pleasantness of dwelling together in harmony. May our decision foster understanding and strengthen the bonds of our community. Thank you for the chance to reflect on this year, to plan for the future. May the work we do tonight set a positive course for what is to come. Bless our community, protect its people, and help us, your servant, to continue leading with integrity and love. We ask these blessings in Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all. We move down to our approval of agenda. Chair will entertain a motion to approve the agenda as published.
So moved.
So moved by Councilor Newton. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Mercado. Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hands. All opposed? The agenda is approved. Move down to special reports and presentations. Our nonprofit spotlight is the Community Christmas Dinner. Georgetown County and Francis P. Burnell Foundation are partnering to spotlight a local nonprofit. This week's featured nonprofit is Community Christmas Dinner. Ms. Katie Mears and Bill Gaskins will present. You have the floor.
I am Bill Gaskins, and
I'm Katie Mears.
and we have been working with the Community Christmas Dinner. I've been involved since 2007. This was organized in 1989. We serve 13,000 meals in Horry, Georgetown, and Williamsburg County. We actually go to Tabor City, North Carolina, and we also go to Moncks Corner. Would you go to the next slide, please? Our goal is to serve nutritious Christmas meals to people who are in need, who may not have access to food at Christmas time. As I said, I've been involved since 2007. We started off in 1989. Next slide, please. Next slide. We started in 1989 with serving 400 meals in Myrtle Beach. We are a nonprofit organization. We have over 500 plus volunteers. We have one of our volunteers sitting up here at the council seat, Councilman Newton. He's been with us for many years helping do this. Our site offers, many sites offers pickup or delivery. We have one site, Blaine United Methodist Church. They will be serving a hot meal on Christmas Day, open to everybody who would like to come. Next slide.
So we serve a lot of people, multiple sites, South Carolina and North Carolina. More locally, we have, Bill and I are over at Andrews location. We also have a Carvers Bay and Plantersville location, Merle's Inlet, North Myrtle Beach at the Greek Church, goes all the way up. It's a lot of food. You can see some numbers here, 21,000 pounds of chicken halves, 41,000 pounds of mashed potatoes, 13,000 servings of dessert, and all of this is prepped at Krabby Mike's in Myrtle Beach. Mike Arrakis is the owner there, and his kitchen is technically closed at this time, but he and his employees take on the task of cooking and organizing this massive operation.
And thankful that we don't cook. Next slide, please. In Georgetown County, we're at the Trinity Church in Andrews, Nazareth AME Church. What is unique about that site is they take over 700 meals and they deliver all their meals, that congregation, and all those volunteers. Open Bible Tabernacle Church out on Powell Road. David Grayson is involved. Plantersville Elementary School, the Village Group. Raymond, Ray Funny, and Marvin Neal is here. He's involved in that. And as I said, Blaine United Methodist Church. And over in Moncks Corner, Change Lives Ministries. They are involved. Next slide.
And then in Williamsburg County, we have other outreaches and churches that also help. And then in Horry County, as I mentioned, the Greek Church, we actually have added Conway this year. This is a new location for us. Bless you.
Bless you.
Green Sea, the Fair Bluff Baptist Church, Nichols Town Hall, the Crossway Church in Loris, and the Mount Tabor Cafe in North Carolina.
And we are trying to raise $20,000. We're right at $15,000 to meet our goal to pay for everything. So we take donations. And we thank you for this time. If you have any questions, please reach out to either one of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Are there any questions for council? Reverend Bishop Cooper?
Yes. My question, your goal is 20,000. How close are you to your goal at this time?
Around 5,000 away. And I'm not sure we necessarily highlighted it, but all of these meals are free.
Yes.
We do not charge anybody anything. There is delivery and pickup. There's a phone number people can call before December 21st. And as long as we have your address, it gets delivered to you. And we also have pickup lines at all the locations as well.
Can you provide that phone number for those that are here and those that are watching, please, so they will be able to make that call, please?
That phone number with me at the moment. If you look at our Facebook page, that number's all over our Facebook page, Community Christmas Dinner. I do apologize.
No worries. And so you have 5,000 now, but your goal is 20,000.
No, we have a little bit around 15,000. Our goal is 5,000 to left to raise.
Okay, okay.
You're welcome to write a check.
You know I will. But for those that want to donate, I think you made mention of that. Could you just reinforce for those who like to donate, please?
If you'd like to donate, if you look at our Facebook page, there's a link that you can donate off of our Facebook page. And on the last slide that I posted, there is a QR code that you can donate. Or if you go to Coastal Giving Tuesday and look for Community Christmas Dinner, you'll see the link there to donate. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you both.
Anything further? Just one question. Who peels all those potatoes?
If you're not doing anything between December the 18th and the 19th, we could really use your help at Krabby Mike's.
Love to, but
Yeah.
my arthritis.
Oh, here's the phone number. Thank you, Kathy. It's 843-781-1326. 843-781-1326. If you call, if nobody answers, leave a message. Someone will call you back. We have one person, that is her job. This phone opens the day after Thanksgiving and will stay open till probably December the 22nd.
Thank you. Thank you for all you do. We move down to the recognition of our 2025 holiday card winners. Report from Ms. Jackie Broach, our Public Information Officer. Ms. Broach or Beth?
Good evening, Mr. Chairman.
There she
and
goes.
members of council. I know I can't see you over the lovely garland here. Tonight, I have the pleasure of announcing the winners of Georgetown County's annual holiday card contest. This is one of my favorite things to do every single year. This year, we had more than 500 entries from grades K to 12 across the county. As always, picking a winner was incredibly difficult because we have some wonderful entries from so many talented young artists. The judging was done blindly by a panel of county staff, so the judges never know who the students are, what their names are, what schools they attend, et cetera, et cetera. We are very grateful to the Georgetown County Chamber of Commerce for generously providing prizes again this year. You have a slideshow going in front of you to just kind of give you a sampling of some of the great talent in our community. So while we watch this, following this slideshow, we will call up the winner and runners-up to recognize them, and Ms. Beth Stedman of the Chamber of Commerce, the Executive Director of the Chamber of Commerce, will join them up front to present their prizes and take a photo.
Thank you. And I just want to say on behalf of the Chamber, we are so glad to be a part of this. It's wonderful during the busyness and the busy time of year to really take a few minutes and honor our students. We know how important art is to youth development and to child development, and it's also critical to the development of our communities. So we are just delighted to be here and to recognize some of the wonderful artists we have here in Georgetown County. And with me tonight also is Mark Stevens, who's our Director of Tourism Development.
And now we will call up the winners. First and third place, we are proud to recognize Trinity Keeney, an 11th grade student at Andrews High School. I don't know if Trinity is here tonight. Third place, I don't think that Trinity was able to make it, but I know that our second place winner, Carter Altman, a first grade student at Andrews Elementary School, is here. And Mr. Chairman, if you wouldn't mind joining us for a photo. Yes. Okay. Technical difficulties for one. Oh, do I?
Maybe the next nominee.
They popped it up a second. That's the kind of day it has been, y'all. I'm going to give you back your photo. But it would just.
Look at that smile. He's grinning from ear to ear.
Step up onto that step. Perfect. Everybody just smile. Finally, our first place winner, whose artwork will also appear on the front of the county's official 2025 holiday card, Brianna Gaspardo. She is a senior at Waccamaw High School. In addition to her success in this contest, her teacher tells me that she recently earned a $25,000 scholarship offer from the Savannah College of Art and Design as she considers her college options. Just like to thank all of the students who put effort into this contest and share their artwork with me, with us.
Thank you, everyone. Those are way better than anything I can do. We'll move down to resolution number 25-35, honoring the life and legacy of the late Miss Florine Lennon. Report from Ms. Jackie Broach, our Public Information Officer. Ms. Jackie.
I have the honor of presenting a resolution tonight that holds deep meaning for many in our community. Tonight, County Council will honor the life and legacy of Miss Florine Lennon, a woman whose kindness, strength, and lifelong commitment to others left an enduring mark on Georgetown County. This resolution reflects our shared appreciation for her service and our heartfelt condolences to her family, especially her daughter, Miss Tranja Simmons. While we don't always read resolutions in full, we will read this one here tonight. Whereas the Georgetown County Council wishes to recognize and honor individuals whose lives have made a meaningful and lasting impact on their families, neighbors, and the community at large, and whereas the late Miss Florine Lennon was a steadfast presence in her community, known for her unwavering dedication, compassionate spirit, and commitment to uplifting those around her, and whereas Miss Lennon was widely regarded as a community stalwart, consistently offering support, encouragement, and leadership through both her actions and her character. And whereas her life was marked by service, integrity, and a deep love for her family, friends, and neighbors, leaving a positive influence that will continue to be felt for generations. And whereas Georgetown County recognizes the profound loss felt by her loved ones, including her daughter, and the many individuals whose lives she touched through her kindness and strength, and whereas it is fitting that the Georgetown County Council formally acknowledge and express appreciation for Ms. Lennon's contributions, her legacy of service, and the example she set for our community. Now therefore, be it resolved that the Georgetown County Council does hereby honor the life, memory, and enduring legacy of Ms. Florine Lennon and extends heartfelt condolences to her family and all who mourn her loss. Be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be presented to the family as a symbol of the county's respect and appreciation, adopted this 9th day of December, 2025.
Thank you, Ms. Broach. You've heard the report on Resolution 2535, honor the life and legacy of the late Miss Florine Lennon. Our chair will recognize a motion on the floor.
Mr. Chairman, I move for adoption of resolution number 25-35.
Thank you, Councilor Moran. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Cooper. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed? Resolution passes.
We do have a framed copy. If you would please, Mr. Chairman, join us for a photo opportunity with the family.
Sound like me. Good grief.
You're gonna have to form some rows here with this. So if you were tall, you know to head to the back, right? Person behind the gentleman. General rule, if you cannot see me, I cannot see you. Everybody see. Someone will scream.
Thank you all. We move down to our public comment period. Public comment period is included on each meeting agenda and shall be limited to 30 minutes. Each speaker will be limited to 3 minutes, and no speaker may yield his or her allotted time to another speaker. A timer is provided on screen, and at the end of your time, please wrap up your comments promptly. While speaking, please be sure to address council only and refrain from personal attacks. Council will not respond to any questions during this period. While a speaker has the floor, the public will respect the speaker and allow their time to address council. Members of the public who wish to address council during the public input period should sign up with the clerk to council before the meeting. Madam Clerk, are there any speakers for tonight's meeting?
Mr. Chairman, we have 9 speakers signed up tonight, and as you stated, each will have 3 minutes to speak. I apologize if I mispronounce your name. I'm going to say that in advance. Miss Felicia Howard.
Good evening, members of County Council, Mr. Chairman. I'm coming before you to speak about item 7B and 7C on the agenda related to rezoning 113 acres on Highway 521 from R1.5 acre to R6. I feel like R6 allows urban level density for a rural area, and that's primarily the reason why I'm opposed to it. I feel like it's the highest possible density of residential housing, and it's out of step with the character of the rest of the area. For several miles from both Georgetown and Andrews, and it's over 30 miles away from the only other R6 zone that I'm aware of in the county, in Murrells, which is in Murrells Inlet. And of course, Murrells Inlet is much more dense than this part of Georgetown County, where this parcel is located. The parcel is across the highway is several acres of FA zoning, additional R1.5 acre zoning, and a few spots that are zone GC and a couple that are zone heavy industrial. So I know that there have not been any public comments made in the first reading and the second reading, but I wanted to be here tonight to be sure that you understood that I don't think anyone who lives out in that area is looking forward to that part of the county looking like Murrells Inlet, to have the same kind of density, bumper-to-bumper traffic, noise, neighbors that are right on top of you in terms of crowding, and the kind of spaces that are more often seen in Murrells Inlet. I'm concerned also that this will be a precedent in there being that kind of zoning. I know that there is additional requests for R6 zoning in an even more remote and rural area of the county that is coming before the Planning Commission this month as well. And so I think There have already been conversations about there being a 185-acre subdivision in that area, and there currently is a for sale sign on that property. And so it occurs to me that though there may be plans for the currently for that space, there's nothing to say that that won't change with a future owner. And then I also wanted to just appeal to you to deny this request and allow this property to remain R 1.5 acres versus urban zoning. Let's leave urban density zoning for urban areas. Thank you.
Robert Turner.
Good evening. My name is Robert Turner. I am the agent for the rezoning on 7B and 7C, and I'm available if y'all have any questions when we get to that item on the agenda. Thank you.
Dan Stacy.
Good afternoon to everybody, and thank you for letting us speak. I have some clients that have items 7A, 9A, 9B, and 9E tonight. If those are first and thirds, I don't think there'll be much discussion of those, but if you have discussion, questions or items that I may be able to help answer, I'll be glad to try to do so, and thank you very much.
Dan Park.
Dan Park with the Earthworks Group. I'm the representative for the Magic Oaks project. If you guys have any questions, we're here tonight, happy to answer anything on it. Thank you all.
Tyrone Frazier.
Good evening, Council. Tonight, I'm Tyrone Frazier, and I also live on Kent Road, and I'm coming before you to address item 7B, which you are trying to rezone from 113 acres from a half acre to R6. I am opposed to this rezoning because it's a very rural community. R6 gives you the highest density possible that will be in a rural community, and it's not very close to a city limit at all. So the next closest city would be Andrews or Georgetown. So I don't understand why we having the urban development. The comments, you probably didn't hear from our community, but then the first and the second readings, because if I'm understanding correctly, you only have to inform citizens who are within 1,000 feet of the property. However, most of those, you will not see those signs, and then that's why you haven't heard from us. But because we are very close to that property. And for your future plans, we know that that one is currently up for third reading tonight, but we know that Planning Commission has on one set on their agenda for next week for 425 Kent Road. And so we are very concerned about what is this going to do for the future of the community. Like most people who come to, most citizens who have a rural lifestyle, they enjoy their lifestyle, they don't deal with the noise levels, and they are content with the community as it is. So I'm humbly requesting that you deny the request from R1/2 to R6 on that property for that 113 acres. Thank you.
Felix Rue.
Good evening. I too am speaking on 7B. If you were to come to Georgetown County for the rural experience, having a house on, or 7 to 8 houses on 1 acre a lot, you don't get the rural experience. It is further, I have noted that the developers have sold you on the idea that they will have, quote, affordable housing. They've already have affordable housing in my neighborhood on Kent Road, the houses start at over $300,000. This, to me, is not affordable to the general public. In addition to that, no one is considering the far-reaching implication of that many houses in that smaller area. For example, what are you going to do about allowing all the vehicles, if each house has 2 vehicles, what are you going to allow for those vehicles entering 521? If you put a turn lane there, that is going to be costly to who? The public. The developer's not going to pay for it. If you, when they built the water sewer line from Andrews to Georgetown, it's supposed to have been a dedicated line that no one's supposed to tap into. Well, we've been tapping into it, so that's no problem anymore. But once the development is completed, who is going to be maintaining the infrastructure of that project? You and I. The expense to us is going to be much greater than the profit that these developers will reap. The only one that's going to benefit from such a density, it will be the developer. Thank you.
Crystal Grant.
Good evening. I did not realize I was supposed to speak. But anyway, I did not know about the development like my other, my other neighbors said. I mean, I live on Kent Road, and the sign is so small that you can't even tell. And right now it's a rural area, it's a country area, and it's very quiet. And like they said, they're putting houses now, and they're coming in, and they're building these houses, and there's really no room, and it's bringing in more people, it's gonna bring in crime, it's gonna bring in a lot of traffic. Like they say, I work now, Paulie's Island, Merle's Inlet, Georgetown. I mean, they're building everywhere, and they're not considering the people that's living in the area. Like Mr. Roos said, it's a country area, it's very quiet. You know, my family come down, they enjoy the country area. I have a farm out there, and people come and they love the peacefulness. But them building these developments, they don't care about us. They just make them worry about the money. And like Mr. Roos said, affordable housing, how could anybody afford $300,000, a young person? They can't afford it. I mean, $200,000 for a house, $1,500 a month house payment on top of other things, and they talk about $300,000 for a double wide. It's not even a house, it's mobile homes. So I don't know what their plans are, and the thing is, they come up with these plans, but they're not thinking about the future and the countryside and the niceness of being out in the country. That's about it. Thank you. I wasn't expecting this, but thank you.
Trip Neely.
Yes, I'm the owner of Magic Oaks, which is on the agenda tonight, and I just wanted to put my name up here. If you guys have got any questions throughout this, we're planning on moving the amenity center and doing away with the kayak launch is what we're proposing to change in the FDD. But if there's any questions or anything, I'll be glad to address them head on as the owner of the property. Thank you for your time.
Beth Martin.
I'm Beth Martin. I live next door to Magic Oaks, and I'm very concerned because I know that 27 houses, driveways and pads for these houses go on that property. There's going to be hardly any space. I know they got this system down the road, but we live in a hurricane-prone area. The flooding is going to be terrible. It's not going to go north on the hammock shops. Water doesn't travel that way. They've got a berm, a retaining wall. It's all going to come, my property, my 3 acres will become their holding pond because they weren't willing to put any land into having a detention pond. They didn't care. Doesn't care if it floods my property. I mean, they probably think I just inherited. No. I've worked from day one with my husband, who was an engineer. We bought that property. We've worked. He's deceased now, but I've worked ever since then to continue to pay for that property and own a piece of property that I'm proud of, and I'm preserving the heritage of Pawleys Island. I'm not allowed to subdivide. People probably think, oh, 3 acres, that woman's rich. No. When I bought that property, I agreed not to subdivide the property. It was in the deed restrictions because there are graves in my front yard. And I am preserving that area so it does not get, I mean, yeah, I could probably 3 acres, I could probably fit about 18 houses in there. I'm not going to do it. I might could work around it somehow. But some people got to stand up and stop this overdevelopment. When we have a hurricane, you know what it's going to be like to get off the Waccamaw Neck. I've been here since 1978. And I don't know how many of y'all were on the neck when there were those bad hurricanes, but I know as soon as it's announced, this one here is up and gone because she isn't waiting to get stuck in that traffic because it is horrendous. If y'all would put your effort into finding a way to get from 31 around Georgetown and down to Charleston, get some of the traffic off of 17, if you would put your effort into that, we would be able to save the Waccamaw Neck and the beauty of that area. And I just don't understand that, why these people just keep cramming more things and more things and more things. It's all for profit. You know, there's something more to life than just profit. Thank you for listening.
Elaine Cooper.
Good evening. Elaine Cooper. I'm here on behalf of Keep It Green to address the Magic Oaks Flexible Design District. I have many concerns about amending the Magic Oaks FDD, an existing site plan that's still awaiting DES approval of significant consequences that could affect the viability of this development. The overarching question being reviewed by SCDES is the stormwater management system that's been designed for this property. The system is an infiltration design that utilizes underground stormwater chambers to be constructed underneath the roadway on property that already has a very high water table. Assuming that many truckloads of fill will be brought in to mitigate that hydrology, it is not permissible to install underground infiltration chambers within fill dirt. SCDES is still reviewing whether the stormwater design to be deployed in a South Carolina coastal plain environment adjacent to protected shellfish waters of Pawleys Creek is appropriate or recommended. Part of the request to amend this FDD includes site plan changes to include an area for a dry pond and another area designed as a swale. Interestingly, the reason for these additions was due to water quality storage requirements, without citing water quantity concerns. The 3 site maps in your packet tonight depict 3 different configurations of the underground stormwater chambers, differing by number, placement, and size. It's not clear which design is currently being reviewed by SCDES. The map labeled previously approved zoning shows 13 smaller water chambers. What appears to be the most current site map with the dry pond and swale and a relocated amenity center is actually dated June 2024 and shows only 8 stormwater chambers. I believe that the request for these FDD amendments, without having the necessary approvals from SCDES for the critical stormwater management system, is like putting the cart before the horse. I would request that this matter be deferred until all outstanding concerns and reviews have been addressed fully. don't create an irrevocable situation for people like Beth, for the current adjacent, and all the other adjacent residents, or the creek ecosystem. Thank you.
That was our final speaker.
Thank you. Move down to public hearings. The chair will open the floor for a public hearing on each of the following ordinances. Ordinance number 25-45, an ordinance to amend the comprehensive plan future land use map to reflect the redesignation of tax map parcel 01-0417-001-00-00 located on the southern side of Georgetown Highway, Highway 521, about a mile east of 9 Mile Curve in Georgetown County, from Conservation Agriculture Con-Ag to Residential Mixed Use RMU and Conservation Agriculture Con-Ag in Council District Number 5. The floor is now open for public comment. Hearing none, the public comments closed for ordinance 2545. We will now open the floor to ordinance 2547, authorizing the execution and delivery of a fee in lieu of ad valorem taxes and special source revenue credit agreement by and between Georgetown County, South Carolina, and SR Georgetown LLC as sponsor and Silicon Ranch Corporation as sponsor affiliate to provide for payment and fee of lieu of taxes with respect to a project, authorizing special source revenue credits and other related matters in Council District 3. The floor is now open on public hearing on ordinance 2547.
Mr. Connor Eccles?
Good evening, council members, and thank you for your time tonight. My name is Connor Eccles, and I'm a Senior Director of Project Development with Silicon Ranch. Though we are here on the agenda for the project, for the SR Georgetown project, I wanted to start by sharing that last week we hit commercial operation on the SR Lambert 1 and 2 projects. They are fully energized and officially pushing power to our customers, Santee Cooper and Central Electric. We are proud to be the long-term owners and operators of those projects and of being members of the Lambertown and Georgetown communities for decades to come. We are now transitioning from the construction of the SR Lambert projects to the SR Georgetown project as discussed last year during our rezoning. SR Georgetown will pay double the tax rate per megawatt as the first phases, Lambert 1 and 2, contributing over $5.4 million in new tax revenue. It will interconnect into the existing substation, and there will be no further phases for the solar project and no battery storage projects planned. We are excited to continue our partnership with the county and with our neighbors. I'm happy to answer any of your questions you may have about this agreement or our projects. Thank you so much.
Are there any further speakers on ordinance 2547? Hearing none, the public hearing is now closed. Move down to third reading of ordinances. Ordinance number 25-42 to rezone approximately 5.1 acres located on the northern side of Black Gum Road, adjacent to Wisteria Plantation Drive in the Litchfield area from forest agriculture or FA to 10,000 square foot residential or MR10. TMS number 04-0414-002-01-00. This is in Council District number 6. We have a report from Ms. Holly Richardson, our planning director. Ms. Richardson, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As you said, this parcel is located off Black Gum Road. The current zoning is forest agriculture or FA. This property consists of 5 acres, and there are an additional 0.1 acres that was conveyed by the Litchfield Company. This is currently a wooded and vacant parcel. The request here is for MR10 zoning, basically based on the adjacent MR10 zoning and the future land use map designation, which we'll get to in just a moment. As we said last month, this parcel does have its ingress-egress versus the Black Gum Road, which is a county road. It also has frontage on a private drive, Wisteria Plantation Drive. The surrounding tracts are all zoned to either FA, MR10, or planned development, as you can see on your zoning map. Staff does not consider this to be spot zoning, of course, based on the adjacent MR10 zoning that exists today. The future land use map designation for this parcel is RMU, or residential mixed use zoning, which does allow for the medium density that's proposed with MR10. There is no change to the future land use map associated with this request. The property is not located in a flood zone. And the approved uses in MR10 are single-family homes, including mobile homes on 10,000 square foot lots. Planning Commission held a public hearing back in October, and there was only one person that spoke there with concerns about the access to Wisteria Plantation Drive. I think those concerns were adequately addressed. This tract will not have access to that road. The Planning Commission did recommend unanimous approval with a vote of 5-0. And I'll be glad to answer any questions. We haven't had any changes since we discussed this at second reading.
Thank you, Ms. Richardson. Are there any questions for Ms. Richardson on ordinance 2542?
I have a comment. I'm glad to see that this 5-acre piece of property is changing from FA to something else. And I look forward to the rollback taxes and making a little bit of money to help run this county in property taxes. And that's what I have to say.
Are there any further questions for Ms. Richardson? Hearing none, the chair will entertain a motion on ordinance 2542 to rezone approximately 5.1 acres located on the northern side of Black Gun Road adjacent to Wisteria Plantation Drive in the Litchfield area from forest to agricultural or FA to 10,000 square foot residential MR10 TMS number 040414-002-0001-00 in Council District 6. Is there a motion on the floor?
So moved.
So moved by Councilor Mercado. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Anderson. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hands. All opposed? Ordinance passes. Move down to ordinance 25-44 to rezone one parcel totaling 113.39 acres located on the southern side of the Georgetown Highway, Highway 521, about a mile east of 9 Mile Curve in Georgetown County from general commercial or GC and 1/2 acre residential or 1/2 acre to 6,000 square foot residential or R6 and conservation preservation. CP TMS 01-0147-001-00-00 in Council District 5. We have a report from Ms. Richardson. You have the floor.
Thank you. I will do items 7B and 7C, both involve this same tract, so I'll address those together in one report. As you said, this is currently zoned both commercial and R1/2 acre, residential 1/2 acre parcel. It is currently mostly forested and is a vacant tract as well. There's a little over 1,000 feet of frontage on Highway 521, and there's also a potential ingress egress from the adjacent Bluebird Street to the east of the property, which is a county-owned and maintained gravel road. The proposal here is for R6 zoning, which is 6,000 square foot lots, and the setbacks are 25 in the front, 10 on the side, and 15 in the rear. Also, they are proposing a conservation preservation zoning for the wetland portion at the rear of the lot. The surrounding tracts in this area are all zoned R1/2 acre to the south and the east, commercial to the north, and there's also an area of heavy industrial to the west, as you can see on your zoning map. Because of the large size of this tract, we don't consider it to be spot zoning, but there is no other high-density R6 zoning in the vicinity of this tract. The closest medium-density designation that we have is an R10 that's about 1.5 miles away on Highway 521. Our future land use map for this tract designates the property as conservation agriculture or ConAg, which is a low-density designation. The current future land use map does not support the rezoning request, and that's why we have an associated future land use map amendment as your next item. If this rezoning is approved, we also need to amend the future land use map from that conservation agriculture designation to the residential mixed use, which is the next level that would allow for that amount of density that's being proposed with R6. And again, the rear acreage, the 38 plus acres on the back for wetlands, would remain ConAg to support the conservation preservation zoning. This parcel is partially located within a special flood zone area. It's an AE10, so any development in that area would have to comply with our flood ordinance requirements. Uses allowed in the proposed R6 district include single-family homes on 6,000 square foot lots. We also allow for horticulture and agricultural uses, public buildings, substations, accessory dwellings. I would like to point out that the R6 district does not allow for mobile homes or manufactured homes. Those are currently allowed in the R1/2 zoning. While we did have some folks come here and speak tonight. We did not have anyone speak at the Planning Commission public hearing for this request. While a specific design or a conceptual plan is not required for a straight rezoning like we have tonight, the applicant did provide a potential sketch plan showing 185 lots. This rezoning from R1/2 acre to R6 is an upzoning that would potentially triple the current density. Again, the future land use map supports low density for this tract at this time. Any future development, if rezoned, would require site plan approval by the Planning Commission for a major subdivision, as well as all the associated regulatory approvals and permits. Just as a reminder, typically when we see a planned development zoning or a flexible design district zoning, we add conditions and restrictions. But as this is a straight rezoning, if it is rezoned, we would be limited to the requirements of the R6 zoning district and the land development regulations for subdivision of the property. The Planning Commission did hold a public hearing, as I said, back in October. There was no one at that meeting to speak opposing the project, and the commission did recommend approval for the rezoning request and an amendment to the future land use map from ConAg to residential mixed use for the 70-plus acres of uplands. Now I'll be glad to try and answer any questions you have for me.
Thank you, Ms. Richardson. Are there any questions for Ms. Richardson?
Mr. Chairman, I've got a couple of questions. Did I notice, Holly, on the site plans on this thing, were there some areas of wetlands within the area of the community? Did I see that on the maps?
I think there are some scattered wetlands, yes, sir, closer up to the street. I mean, obviously, there are the significant wetlands in the back, but I think there are a few areas.
That was probably 50, 60 acres back there, I guess, right?
39 or so.
39, okay. But the other areas are going to be treated as wetlands, and building around those will be, we probably won't have our new ordinance in place by the time this comes to fruition. You know where I'm going with this, so.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. I just was curious about that. The other thing is, and you can't answer this, but maybe there's somebody out there from this developer on this. What's the price point of these homes going to be?
Good evening. Yeah, we're looking around 250,000.
How are you, young man? Good to see you.
Good to see you too. It's good to be back in here.
Okay, so you're saying about 250?
Yes, sir.
All right, that's all I need to know. Thank you.
All right. Yes, sir.
Any further questions for Ms. Richardson?
Yes, I have a few. Ms. Richardson, is there any future possibility of anything being built on the back half on the Sanpet River, the 38 acres? Or it's going to be off limits?
I would think that would be unlikely. I mean, conservation preservation, if it is rezoned to that, it is very limiting. Docks, hunting, those sort of uses in conservation preservation.
I see a few agreements that have been made with a potential developer for this, with some walking trails around the wetlands area. Larger lots in the back, closer to the wetlands area. How large are we talking about?
I couldn't speak to those from a regulatory standpoint. Counselor Newton, again, he would be restricted to the R6. It's my understanding that they have discussed some other things that they might be willing to do. But from a regulatory standpoint, if it is rezoned to the R6 and the CP, then we would be limited to enforcing those requirements.
So it would be held to the 6,000 square foot? You couldn't take a certain portion of this and say do 8,000 or 10,000 or 7,500?
I mean, I think if the applicant was willing to voluntarily do that, obviously anything over 6,000 square feet would be allowed.
Would be allowed.
approved.
That was my question.
But a 6,000 minimum,
Yeah.
they would have a minimum of 6,000.
They could go larger, but not small.
Yes, sir.
And the traffic issue how many exits are we looking at coming out of this subdivision?
I'm not sure if we know that yet. I think Mr. Turner mentioned that he'd had some initial discussions with DOT. They would need to do a traffic study if they generate over 500 trips per day. So basically, anything over 50 single-family lots would have to come back with a traffic study when they get ready to do their subdivision.
Yeah, the short answer is going to be whatever Holly makes me do, probably
Okay.
2. I guess she's probably.
So we will have a traffic study
Yes, sir.
approved for that. Okay, thank you.
I just thought of another question. Are the utilities already in place as far as water and sewer and that sort of thing?
They have had discussions with the Water and Sewer District, and they are available. I think there would likely be some extensions required, but they have had those initial conversations for
But
water
they've
and sewer, and
got-
it would be
they've got-
served by sewer.
They've got the volume and pressure to do it?
I believe
Okay,
so, yes.
thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I have a few questions.
Morant.
Thank you. Holly, I'm just trying to get some clarification on this particular project, really. It's my understanding that you're saying that the proposal is for 185 lots, proposed lots?
Well, I think the proposal is to be rezoned to R6. 185 lots is just the number of lots that Mr. Turner provided in a possible sketch plan, but that would need to come back through the approval process.
Now, as the property is presently zoned, is there any commercial property on this as it's presently zoned? Any
Yes.
commercial issues there?
Yes, sir, there's commercial in the front.
Okay. And if it's rezoned to R6, would any commercial property be there?
No, sir.
So we're talking 185 lots with no commercial there to serve those households?
That's right. If it's rezoned to R6, there's no commercial uses beyond a home occupation or something allowed in R6.
Okay. Now, if it's approved with the strict rezoning as it is, then the county has no way of changing it from the R6 to make it more affordable or change any of the density or anything else, is it?
Not under our current requirements. We don't have, minimum affordability requirements. Certainly, our zoning ordinance update, there may be some changes to our land development regs that might, depending on the timing of this project, that might add some requirements, add some incentives maybe even that would encourage them to do some affordable housing. It would kind of depend on the timing. But as of right this minute, we don't have anything that would require affordability.
So the county has no enforceability to enforce anything they may say, since there's no type of an agreement with the developer to do that with the county.
Not to my knowledge, no, sir.
Now, the way the rezoning is being asked for at this particular time, is it in compliance with our future land use plan?
The proposed R6, no, sir, it's not in compliance with the current ConAg, Conservation Agriculture designation.
And as of this day, we don't have any definitive plans for how this particular development is to be, how this particular property is to be developed, do we?
Not beyond the sketch plan that's in your packet.
And the county can't hold the developers to those particular sketch plans without, if it's rezoned to R6, is what I'm hearing.
That's correct. The future plans would be, have to comply with the R6 requirements. They would have to comply with our subdivision regulations. They would be held to those standards.
And this is proposed on, the access is on Highway 521, is that correct? If I'm looking at the map correctly, looks like it's on Highway
Right.
521.
Well, an access hasn't been approved at this time, but you could assume that they would be allowed at least one. I mean, they have over 1,000 feet of frontage.
Yeah, but it butts on Highway 521, the property butts on Highway 521.
That would be, of course, handled through DOT in their encroachment process.
That's the only, Highway 521, if I'm looking at the map here, appears to be the only way to get to that property. I don't see any other.
They do abut Bluebird Street, which is a county gravel road.
And that comes off 521 also, doesn't it?
Yes, yes. I mean, that would, you're correct, end up at 521.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Ms. Richardson, appreciate it.
Mr. Chair, I do have a comment. Based on the discussion that we're we're dealing with right now. For the most part, the people, from what I've heard, they're not in agreement with this. They're opposing it, rural area, and also the affordable housing. I think I heard the price that said 250,000. So with my brief comment, what I would like to make mention, is it possible to motion to postpone, which is something that we can consider because the community is not in agreement. And when I look at the third reading, there's the possibility that a third reading can be postponed. I'm just asking that question at this time. Because based on Parliament motion to postpone to a time, to a date which set the bill or this particular ordinance, it can be postponed. I'm asking that question. That's something that maybe we can consider, because from what I heard from the community, they were unaware, and here we're at the third reading now. But will we consider that as a motion to postpone it? That's what I'm asking.
Are you making a motion to defer?
Yes, I would like to do that. I would like to make a motion to defer. Yes.
Okay. We have a motion to defer ordinance 25-44 by Councilor Cooper. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Morant. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed? Motion fails 2-5. Is there another motion on ordinance 2544 to rezone one parcel totaling 113.39 acres located on the southern side of Georgetown Highway 521, about a mile east of 9 Mile Curve in Georgetown County, with the general commercial and 1/2 acre residential to 6,000 residential R6 and conservation and preservation TMS 01-0147-001-00-00.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
So moved by Councilor Newton. Is there a second?
Second?
Second by Councilor Anderson. Is there any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Councilor Morant?
Thank you. Yeah, from what we've gone through throughout the years with the battle we had on the Waccamaw Neck and everywhere else, we came up with revising our land use plan to accommodate and try to fix those particular things that plagued us during our time with the struggle in the Waccamaw Neck development. Now we are going back and doing the same thing with the western part of the county. We devised a land use plan, we approved the land use plan. Now we are looking at the possibility of approving development that's not in accordance with the plan that we said that we are going to go by. You know, it's been made clear, and what you see is that the proposed development is not in compliance with the land use plan. As a matter of fact, it oversaturates that particular community. You know, it's zoned residential 1/2 acre now, and you're talking about almost tripling the amount of housing that will go there. There's a proposed plot plan indicating how many units are going to be there, how many lots are going to be there, and there's some talk about it being affordable in the 250 range, but there's nothing for us to bind them to any of that. You have from what I've seen in the application, the owners of the property, at least from the tax notices and everything, does not seem to have a local address. So it gives me the impression that the owners of the property is trying to get it rezoned just to ship it off to someone else for the development purposes, which gives me the impression as to where's the concern for Georgetown County. You know, you're talking about infrastructure, you're talking about designated sewer lines coming down Highway 521. You know, I have not seen anything which says that the sewer line would be able to accommodate the amount of this particular development. You're talking about a rural area here that we're looking at agreeing, for possibility of agreeing tonight to render urban sprawl coming to that particular area. You have 1,000 feet frontage on Highway 521. You're talking about 185 units with nothing, no type of commercial zoning to support that particular area, those particular subdivisions. So where's the supplies going to be coming from to support that particular 185 subdivision that's proposed to go there, at least in accordance with the plat that was, the plot plan that was submitted tonight? You're talking about affordability in the 250 range. I mean, do we have the jobs within Georgetown County to pay those type of income for those affordability aspects? And I understand timber prices and everything have gone up. I do understand all of that. But you're talking about a surplus of housing that's coming to a rural area that's going to redesignate that area no longer as rural, but as urban. And also, you're going against a plan that we have approved to say we are going to go by. Now, all of a sudden, when someone else comes around and say, no, I want to do it this way, we immediately change our minds and say, no, forget about our plans. This is what we desire to do with the county here. The land use plan is clear. I mean, there's nothing out of the ordinary with it. There's nothing confusing about it. This is what it states. And I understand it's a plan, but we all have a plan that we go by, or we can just break it anytime we so desire. So what kind of protection are we giving to our residents? We're telling them we're going to have it done this way, and all of a sudden someone comes up and then we're going to do it that way. So is that what we're going to be about, that the public cannot have confidence in us to say that we're going to do what we tell them we're going to do, that what we plan to do? So we're talking about giving the highest density level to a rural area. That's what we're talking about this evening. Now, is council going to sit back and just do that to the public that's here? And I say we should not. I think this really should be a denial. Mr. Cooper made a motion to try to defer, to give you some idea to see whether any changes can take place, to reconsider what is to be had there. And council said, no, we don't want to defer it. So that tells me you must be going to deny it, because I can't see this council proposing urban sprawl on this rural area within Georgetown County, when we don't have anything to even indicate that the capacity level from the utilities that are there will be able to accommodate this proposed subdivision. We have no report from Water and Sewer District. We have nothing. But we're just going to toss it out there and say, okay, it doesn't matter. We can just go for it anyway. So, Mr. Chairman, I just ask that this, and other council members, I ask that you all take this matter into consideration and just deny this particular application. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Morant. Is there any further discussion?
Yeah, I've got a few things to say about this.
Councilor Anderson.
Councilman Morant started out with, it sounds like the Waccamaw Neck, and it certainly does. But we've got to treat this side of the river just like we treated the other side for the last 5 years. And that may be a hard pill to swallow, but it's a fact of the matter. So it's just time that we started to develop our rural areas over here. We're spending $47 million, I think, for water and sewer infrastructure from the last capital project sales tax referendum, and it's coming. And I'm not saying that I love that fact. I love what we've got over here, but things are going to change. And there are a lot of people from other areas of this country that are going to be coming here, not for jobs, they're going to be coming here to retire. And it's just a fact of the matter, and I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
But sometimes, Mr. Anderson, I think we need to consider our residents. We can't just ignore that our residents live here. We need to make provisions for them who live here. We don't need to continue to make provisions for those who propose to come. Let's take care of our own sometimes.
Well, I understand that, and we hadn't taken care of our residents on the Waccamaw Neck very well either. Thank you.
Well, one mistake does not constitute another. So we need to make corrections along those lines, and that's where we are. Let's make corrections. Let's not continue to make the mistakes. If we made mistakes in what occurred on the neck, should we continue making mistakes, or should we try to correct them? And this is an opportunity to correct, not continue along the same lines.
Mr. Chair,
Councilor Cooper.
if I'm in order, am I able to ask the developers to consider to recommit? If there's a time frame for the developers to get this done, just asking. Are you clear on my question?
I'm sorry, could you rephrase that, please?
Okay, I'm asking, based on for the developers, do they have a time frame, or can we recommit? Based on recommit, what we simply saying that we want to recommit, effectively pausing from this time and moving forward, and maybe giving more time. And that's what recommit really saying to us. And I'm asking maybe the developers if they have a time frame. I don't know if they have a time frame or not. But from my perspective, I'm here to serve, we're all here to serve the community. And so I believe wholeheartedly, the community is not for this particular situation right now. I'm just asking I'm asking the developers the question, do they have a time frame, Mr. Chair? Do they have a
Time frame to build?
time frame to move forward from this right here, or can we recommit and give it more time that where they can at least meet with the community? That's all I'm asking.
Well, right now, we're at third reading, and we have a motion on the floor, so we need to vote on that.
And so a recommit is not something that can be done in the third reading. From what I understood, that a recommit can be done in the third reading. A recommit to simply mean that we will move forward. We will not move forward. We will actually almost like table it. We're recommitting, we're looking at it, we're reviewing it, and then come back at another time. Even though I made a motion to it, I still want to have clarity about the recommit, what it means for us to really be able to look at this and not move forward at this time. That's all I'm saying. That's what I'm asking.
I understand your question, but currently, right now, we have a motion on the floor and a second, so we would have to vote on those before we could do anything else. Is there any further discussion?
From a discussion standpoint, I would encourage everyone's planning commission members to review the future land use map and properly vote for their districts. I believe this was passed 5 or 6 to 0 from planning commission as a recommendation to us.
Is there any further discussion? We have a motion on the floor to approve and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll now vote. All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed? Motion passes 5-2. We'll move down to ordinance number 25-45, an ordinance to amend the comprehensive plan, future land use map to reflect the redesignation of tax map parcel 01-0417-001-00-00, located on the southern side of Georgetown Highway, Highway 521, about a mile east of 9 Mile Curve in Georgetown County, from conservation and agriculture, or ConAg, to residential mixed use RMU and conservation and agriculture ConAg District 5. Ms. Richardson.
Yes, sir. Same track covered earlier. This is the future land use map change to RMU from the ConAg designation.
Thank you, ma'am. Are there any questions referring to ordinance 2545 to Ms. Richardson? Hearing none, the chair will entertain a motion on ordinance 2545, an ordinance to amend the comprehensive plan future land use map to reflect the redesignation of tax map parcel 01-0417-001-00-00, located on the southern side of the Georgetown Highway, Highway 521, about a mile east of 9 Mile Curve in Georgetown County, from conservation and agriculture, or ConAg, to residential mixed use RMU and a conservation and agriculture ConAg in District 5. Is there a motion on the floor?
So moved.
So moved by Councilor Newton. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Anderson. Is there any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Councilman Rand?
My comments previously goes for this also. Again, if every time a project comes up, we're going to amend our land use plan that we have agreed upon previously, then what's the use of a plan? So again, I think we need to just go ahead and deny it and act accordingly. But, you know, every time a proposal comes by, we can't keep changing our plans. You know, it's just changing the roadmap every time.
Thank you, Councilor Morant. Is there any further discussion? You've heard the motion and the second. All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed? Motion carries 5-2. We move to ordinance 25-46, amending the certain agreement for development of joint county industrial and business park by and between Georgetown County, South Carolina, and Horry County, South Carolina, dated as of June 13th, 2006, to extend the not before termination date and to provide for other related matters, international paper redevelopment. We have a report from Ms. Kelly Slagle, our Economic Development Director. Ms. Slagle, you have the floor.
Thank you, Chairman and members of council. Ordinance 2546 before you tonight is a simple amendment to the multi-county industrial park agreement between Georgetown and Horry counties. Originally executed on June 13th of 2006, this amendment extends the not before termination date so that the agreement can remain active. Maintaining an active MCIP is critical as we advance redevelopment efforts at the former International Paper property. The MCIP structure provides eligibility for important state benefits, including the $1,000 South Carolina job tax credit enhancement for qualified projects, as well as access to additional state-level incentive tools that require the MCIP designation. This amendment does not change any revenue sharing or financial terms. It only extends the agreement's timeframe. Georgetown County Department of Economic Development recommends approval to support continued progress on the IP redevelopment, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you, Ms. Slagle. Are there any questions for Ms. Slagle on ordinance 25-46?
What was the year-end date on that?
We are requesting it to be extended for 50 years. Plenty of time for redevelopment.
Did I hear that right? Only, Ms. Kelly, is that only 50 years?
Only 50 years.
Okay,
Through December 31st of 2091.
okay. That's my birthday. I'll be here.
Okay.
Are there any further questions for Ms. Slagle? Hearing none, Chair will entertain a motion on ordinance 2546, amending a certain agreement for development of joint county industrial and business park by and between Georgetown County, South Carolina, and Horry County, South Carolina, dated as of June 13th, 2006, to extend the not before termination date and to provide for other related matters, the international paper for redevelopment. Is there a motion on the floor?
So moved.
So moved by Councilor Anderson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Mercado. Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hands. All opposed, motion carries 7-0. Move down to ordinance 2547, authorizing the execution and delivery and fee of lieu of tax, ad valorem taxes, and special source revenue credit agreement by and between Georgetown County, South Carolina, and SR Georgetown County LLC as sponsor and Silicon Ranch Corporation as sponsor affiliate, to provide for payment and fee of lieu of taxes with respect to a project authorizing special source revenue credits and other related matters in Council District 3. Ms. Slagle, you have the floor.
Great. Thank you, Chairman Elliott and members of council. The agenda item before you authorizes the execution of a fee in lieu of taxes and special source revenue credit with SR Georgetown LLC and Silicon Ranch Corporation for their planned expansion known as Project SR2. Silicon Ranch is investing up to $55 million to construct an additional 50-megawatt solar facility in the Lambertown area located in Council District 3. This project builds on their existing phases, which have successfully achieved grid synchronization and are now in commercial operation under the 2022 FILO agreement. As a part of this agreement, the county negotiated a doubling of the per megawatt FILO rate from $1,800 to $3,600 per megawatt over a 30-year term. This increases the county's total revenue from approximately $2.7 to $5.4 million, representing more than 36 times the revenue the land would have generated under standard agricultural taxation. The ordinance also authorizes a special source revenue credit, which are performance-based and funded solely from the project's own fee payments. The credits ensure the negotiated $3,600 per megawatt annual payment is maintained. The expansion provides a strong long-term fiscal benefit to Georgetown County with minimal impact on public services. The project is located in Santee Electric Cooperative Service Territory. A couple key timing points that I want to mention. No FILO payments are due during construction. Once the project is placed in service and reaches its commencement date, which is expected by December 31st, 2026, the first FILO bill will be issued and the tax year and continued annually for 30 years. As a backstop provision, ensures that the project is not placed in service by December 31st of 2028, the FILO term will automatically begin to protect the county from open-ended delays. We don't anticipate any. They're on track, but I do want to mention that. So today, staff does recommend approval of the FILO and the SSRC agreement to secure this expansion and its associated revenue, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you, Ms. Slagle. Are there any questions for Ms. Slagle?
Mr.
Yes.
Chairman, I'm sorry, who had a question? Go ahead.
Yes.
Bishop Cooper?
My question is, you said the total amount is 55 million that's going to be invested? You said 55 million?
55 million, yes, sir.
Okay. And that 55 million investment, what's the return, roughly what we're anticipating with that 55 million investment?
Well, our FILO revenue with our negotiated would be a total of $5.4 million over that.
Okay, 5.4. Okay. And you also made mention, that's where the numbers went from the 2.7 to the 5.4, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And what about those dates? You specifically made mention of 12/31/26, and also you made mention of December 2028. There was some specific dates or terms. Can you reinforce those?
Sure. Once the project is placed into service and reaches its commencement date, which is expected to be December 31st of 2026, at that point, the FILO bill will kick in, and we will start receiving tax revenue annually for the next 30 years. But we have added what we call a backstop provision, which ensures if anything happens over the next year until that December 31st, 2026 anticipation date, we automatically have added a clause which will kick in the FILO on December 31st of 2028. So we've given a little bit of cushion if there are any delays for any reason with this phase of the construction, it's not ongoing. They have to start paying December 31st, 2028. That will be their target date. But working with Connor and the crew at Silicon Ranch, they're still on target and expected to be commence operations on December 31st, 2026. So we basically gave them 2 years if needed. We don't anticipate that they will, but regardless, their FILO, that tax bill will kick in on December 31st, 2028.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Kelly, I've got a question, and I'm going to back up a minute first to what's going on right now. I think I heard Connor say that we're pushing power up on the lines. When will we start seeing our cash flow in for the FILO?
Well, for the first FILO,
Yes,
now
ma'am.
that they have their commencement date, they'll receive their tax bill on the FILO that was negotiated in 2022.
Right.
We're going to start seeing those revenues now on that first FILO. This is on I say the second, but the amended. So this is I'll say phase 2 of the FILO.
So I'll ask Connor, I see him back there. How are you, young man? Are
Sir, how are you?
Are you up to speed as far as what you're generating and what we agreed to? And what are we bringing in a month in dollars from you putting out kilowatt hours or kilowatts of power? It's been, 5 years or 3 years or so? I don't remember the numbers. Are we on target for what we agreed on?
Yes, sir. Yeah, for Lambert 1 and 2, which are hit commercial operation, we will be getting those FILO payments next year. So
Next year in January or February?
I'm not exactly sure, but you will get the payment next
Well,
year.
I'm not looking for it in June. I'm looking for
Oh,
it
yeah,
in January.
yes, sir. I understand that. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, yes, sir.
And what did we project that we were going to be bringing in?
That's 180,000.
180,000 a month?
A year.
A year? Oh, I thought that was a month. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you're on target that.
Yes, sir.
That you're going to meet the requirement.
Yes, sir.
180K?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Anderson. Is there any further discussion or questions for Kelly or Ms. Slagle? Hearing none, you've heard the report from Ms. Slagle, our Economic Development Director, on Ordinance 2547, authorizing the execution and delivery of a fee in lieu of ad valorem taxes and special source revenue credit agreement by and between Georgetown County, South Carolina, and SR Georgetown, LLC, a sponsor, and Silicon Ranch Corporation, a sponsor affiliate, to provide for payment and fee of lieu of taxes with respect to a project, authorizing special source revenue credits and other related matters in Council District 3. Is there a motion on the floor?
I make a motion, Mr. Chairman.
Motion to approve?
To approve.
Okay. You've heard, there's a motion on the floor to approve by Councilor Cooper. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Councilor Anderson. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed? Motion carries 6-1.
Thank you.
Move down to second reading of ordinances. Ordinance 2548, a request to rezone one parcel approximately 23,208.93 square feet located on 627 Bellamy Avenue in Murrells Inlet from general residential to general commercial, TMS number 41-0118-006-00-00 in my district. Ms. Richardson, you have the floor.
Thank you. This approximately half-acre parcel is located in Murrells Inlet. It's currently Zone GR. The property's previously been used for storage. It was also used as a repair shop and several other different commercial uses throughout the years. The property owner has requested the commercial zoning to be consistent with the current use and to be consistent with the adjoining property to the northwest. Water and Sewer District does provide water and sewer to this parcel. Bellamy Avenue is a state-owned DOT right-of-way. If there is further development here, they would need an encroachment from DOT to do so. The surrounding zoning is GR to the northeast, south, and southwest, and as I said, there is commercial zoning to the northwest of the parcel. This is a small parcel in size, but there is adjacent commercial zoning, so spot zoning is not a concern here. The future land use map designates this property as residential mixed use, and even though there is residential in the title, the mixed use designation does allow for some neighborhood serving or low-impact commercial and institutional uses. We believe that the current designation supports this request. The property is not located in a flood hazard area, and this rezoning would help correct a long-time nonconformity in the area. It has been operating commercially for quite some time. There was no one at the public hearing to address or speak against the rezoning back in November, and the commission voted 6-0 to recommend approval.
Thank you, Ms. Richardson. Are there any questions for Ms. Richardson? Hearing none, the chair will entertain a motion on ordinance 2548, a request to rezone one parcel approximately 23,208.93 square feet located on 627 Bellamy Avenue in Murrells Inlet from general residential to general commercial, TMS number 41-0118-006-00-00. Is there a motion on the floor? So moved by Councilor Mercado. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Cooper. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed?
Correction.
Okay.
Are we able to make a correction?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was the second. It's okay.
For the record, Councilor Charlton is the one that's second, and sorry about that. Y'all sound close to each other. So we've got a vote 7-0, correct? Okay, motion passes 7-0. We move down to ordinance 25-49, an ordinance to amend the Magic Oaks Flexible Design District located on Highway 17 directly south of the hammock shops to remove a kayak launch and relocate an amenity center, TMS number 04-0158-060-00-00 in Council District 2. Ms. Richardson, you have the floor.
Thank you. This project, Magic Oaks, was brought to the Planning Commission back in February of 2024 to be rezoned. It was originally zoned general commercial, general residential, and conservation preservation, and the request at that time was for an FDD, or flexible design district. The commission recommended a favorable vote of 5-1 to approve the request, and it was eventually approved by council by ordinance 2406 on April 23rd of 2024. At that time, the future land use map was amended with a vote of 5-1 and changed from conservation preservation to medium-density residential and conservation preservation. You will remember that subsequently we adopted our future land use map countywide, and at that time, the designation was changed from medium residential to the RES designation, which is essentially the same, medium density, and conservation agriculture in the back, which is basically the same as the conservation preservation designation. But the current future land use designation is RES and ConAg in the back. This current request that is before us tonight is for a major change to the flexible design district. As you know, an FDD is similar to a plan development in the sense that if there are major changes per our ordinance, and the ordinance does specify which is minor and which are major, that those changes have to come back through the Planning Commission and County Council as an ordinance change. They are publicly noticed, just like a rezoning would be. One minor change that was proposed is the donation of the marshlands or the wetlands in the back. There are a little over 10 acres of marshlands that they plan to deed to the state. This can be done as a minor change. It also includes the removal of a kayak launch. You may remember that the kayak launch was added at council approval. They were not able to achieve access to the kayak launch through the adjoining property as was discussed. We've gotten that in writing, and they are now proposing to remove the kayak launch to take that strip and put that with one of the residential lots that are on the back towards the marsh. Due to some water quality storage requirements, they have also asked to incorporate some dry stormwater retention in order to meet state and county regulations. This can also be reviewed as a minor change pending the stormwater approvals, of course. The other major change is the relocation of the amenity center. If you look at the plan, you can see that the amenity center has been relocated from the left side of the pavilion there to the right side. That was in order to reduce the impacts to 2 large oak trees. And this would also take the 48-inch live oak that's on the site and place it on amenity or community-owned property as opposed to it being on an individual single-family lot. The relocation of the amenity center and the taking of the kayak launch property and making it part of an individual lot are changes in land use on the plan. Those are considered major changes per our ordinance. So those are the 2 things that are before you tonight as major changes to this FDD. Just some basic information on the FDD. I know we have, I believe, 2 of our council members who weren't here when this was originally approved. This is a 27 single-family subdivision off Highway 17 in Pawleys. The lots range in size from 8,000 square feet to 15,800 square feet. They've also included a 50-foot wetlands protection buffer off the wetlands in the rear. The minimum lot size is 8,000 square feet. They also have a 90-foot setback off Highway 17. They are proposing a gated development, and the net density of this project as approved is 4.06 units per acre, which is a medium density residential project. They did provide a tree survey that listed there are various protected trees and several grand trees on the track. The applicant plans on exceeding the tree canopy requirements of our ordinance, and they are currently showing 49 protected trees to be saved, which exceed the requirements of the tree ordinance. There's been a good bit of talk about stormwater. The applicant has been working with our stormwater department on their stormwater permit. They've also been working with DES on their state permit. Both are required. They do not have that permit yet. They've had several iterations going back and forth, and I think that our stormwater department is currently reviewing their latest submission and revisions to the comments. That process, of course, happens separate as part of the construction approval process. They will not be given construction approvals from the planning department. They will not be able to get their final plat approved until that stormwater permit from the state and from the county is in place. Again, in summary, the request before us tonight is the removal of the kayak launch, enveloping that into the single-family lot, and the switching of the amenity in one of the single-family lots on the development. Those proposed changes do not increase the density of the project, and they support the preservation of existing trees and wetlands on the site. And this plan does comply with our current future land use map designation. The Planning Commission reviewed this. They recommended approval with a vote of 5-1 at their meeting in November. There were some people that spoke in opposition, stating items such as stormwater, concern about the trees, fill, bulkheads, and docks, and the stormwater permit, as you heard tonight as well. We have also provided you with some opposition letters that we've received since then. And I'll be glad to answer any questions you might have about this request.
Thank you, Ms. Richardson. Are there any questions for Ms. Richardson on ordinance 2549?
Mr. Chairman, I have a couple of questions. Well, I've only got one question, actually. I'm trying to keep up with changes to the TDP, Technical Data Package. What's the last date, what's the last revised date of the Technical Data Package? So I know that I'm looking at the current TDP. Anybody know that?
Are you talking about the construction plan?
Yeah, the drawing package for what we've been looking at, the plat maps and the drawing plans for the water purification system and all that.
We might need Mr. Parks to speak to the latest date on his revised drawings. The conceptual plan that's in your packet is just that, it's the conceptual plan, it's not the technical package, and there was I think the date on that one hadn't been updated, it's still left at 2024, but we confirmed that with Mr. Park, that the timestamp did reflect it, it just didn't reflect the later date. That is a September of this year document, but I'll let him speak to you about the technical plans and the date.
Okay. First off, thank you guys. And yes, whenever we sent this back into Holly, the revision date was not updated. That comes down to an AutoCAD thing where we removed it from our submittal package because it's completely different than what we submit to the state and stuff for this rezoning. So whenever
Can you say that again, please? I'm just trying to keep up with you.
Okay, I apologize.
No problem.
I'll slow down a little bit. So basically what happened is we're dealing with computer software.
Right.
Okay. We have a package that we send to the state and to the county for our stormwater. Whenever I produced the plan for the rezoning, I took what was our existing plan, removed it from the sheet set of AutoCAD. I know I'm getting kind of technical here, but that removed it from the general updated dates. There is a timestamp on the printed set that was given to Holly that was new.
Okay, so
it is very current.
I'm a CAD guy, so I'm
I got
speaking your
you.
language. So
Good
you
deal.
used layers from the total design package for the layout.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and so that's what we're looking at for that. And so are you keeping two different books then on, you got two different packages that you got your technical data package, and then you got your site plan kind of
Yeah,
stuff?
I basically did a save as for the other drawing and dropped it down and made it
Okay.
its own
So
one.
can-
Because I don't normally put color and everything else into it for what I do for our rezonings. It just makes it look better for you guys and makes it quicker for
And
everybody to
that's
understand
all
what's
great,
going on.
but I'm just trying to keep up with the changes, and there's been a lot of them, so.
I
As far as
apologize
the
for that.
TDP, what's the latest?
Everything that was given to Holly is current, and I want to make sure that I'm reiterating to this board.
But if I look at the drawing, it'll be down there, revision so-and-so, and what we did, and a date on it.
Yes, sir.
What's that date?
I do not have that package in
Okay.
front of me at
Can-
this time, sir.
I'm easy to find, young man, if you would. Then I know I'm looking at the current, I'm just trying to keep up with you.
Yeah,
That's all.
everything that was sent to the county
Okay.
is the current.
All right, that, just if you could give me a ring and tell me what that date is, then I'll know when I sit down with the stormwater people, I can look at the revision data and know what I'm looking at.
I just want to make sure that everybody is aware that we are dealing with rezoning tonight, not stormwater. Those are two completely separate
Yeah.
issues. You never will have anybody come in here and ask to rezone property that they've already done stormwater calculations on. That's not a requirement. No one does that.
I think everybody understands.
Okay, I just want to make
And I'm-
sure.
and I'm sorry
And
that's
I'm
it.
happy to get farther
Right.
into it,
Yeah.
but yeah.
I'm just trying to keep up with the changes.
Thank you for clarifying that. I was going to ask that question. I had a question about the kayak launch. What was the reason that it was removed again?
Because we couldn't get access through the hammock shops. We were trying to get access through their property and to do the parking on theirs. Our The owner did not and never intended for the public to park on his property and take up a large portion of this land. We were trying to work on a joint agreement with them because they are a commercial site but they don't have access down to the marsh. So we were trying to be their access to the marsh from their property, and they were not interested in that, unfortunately.
Thank you.
And
I had a question. There was a speaker earlier from Keep It Green, and I was looking at the Planning Commission notes. And I don't know, Holly, if you have them, I can read them. But it's pretty clear that they were for this rezoning. So, and I believe the person left, but Cindy Person of Keep It Green said the group supports the zoning change of Magic Oaks with a maximum of 27 houses. Ms. Person said she wanted to commend Earthworks for reaching out to the community. She said the FDD eliminates the threat of high density, high intensity, and multifamily development along the marsh. She said it saves trees and provides a buffer for the wetlands. Ms. Person noted that having the current zoning out of compliance with the comp plan caused difficulties for the public and for the developers. Ms. Person said the citizens of Keep It Green were not normally in favor of housing developments, but they are enthusiastic in their support of this development. I know they're not here to speak to it, but do you have any comments on why they would speak against this?
I cannot tell you why someone changes their mind about things. I will tell you this was, and we're nothing that we do tonight is going to change this current FDD zoning, okay? We're still moving forward with plans. The only thing I'm trying to do is relocate an amenity center and remove the kayak launch. That's the only reason I'm in front of you tonight. But as far as what we were doing, it was a down zoning. This had the potential to be a huge number of lots with a beach store, and we looked at duplexes on this, and it could have been done by right. Our client, he didn't think that fit the character of this area and chose to do this FDD. Unfortunately, through working with Keep It Green, I don't know that I would recommend other clients to do that because he kind of bound himself by doing this FDD, and it has been a bit of a nightmare.
I've seen some of the nightmare. Thank you very much. I appreciate your comments.
Are there any further questions for Ms. Richardson?
Yeah, just want to ask something, Ms. Richardson. It's my understanding, just for clarification purposes, it's my understanding that this amendment is not seeking to increase the density or anything. Is that correct?
No, sir.
And it's also in compliance with future land use.
Yes, sir.
So we are following the regulation that we have set previously.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Any further questions from Ms. Richardson? Hearing none, the chair will entertain a motion on ordinance 2549, an ordinance to amend Magic Oaks FDD located on Highway 17 directly south of Hammock Shops to remove a kayak launch and relocate an amenity center TMS 04-0158-060-00-00 in Council District 2. Is there a motion on the floor?
So moved.
So moved by Councilor Anderson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Mercado. Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hands. All opposed, ordinance passes 7-0. Thank you, Ms. Richardson. We move down to ordinance 25-50, an amendment of the fiscal year 25-26 budget ordinance. We have a report from Ms. Megan Colgrove, our finance director. Ms. Colgrove, you have the floor.
Thank you. Good evening, Chairman and County Council. Thank you. All right. Starting over, Ordinance 25-50 amends the fiscal year 25-26 operating budget as outlined in the body of the ordinance that was provided to you. I'll be happy to answer any of the questions you might have regarding those items listed. Otherwise, staff requests that you give second reading approval to Ordinance 25-50.
Thank you, Ms. Colgrove. Are there any questions for Ms. Colgrove on ordinance 25-50?
Could you repeat the items that were listed?
You want me to read through the ordinance?
Do you mind?
No. So section 1 is appropriations in the general fund. Registration and elections are increased by $9,000 for state mandated increases to election commissioners' quarterly stipends and is funded by additional state revenue. Section 2, appropriations in the general fund, registration and elections are increased by $3,590 for July 2025 school district special election and is funded by the reimbursement from the school district. Section 3, appropriations in the general fund, Midway EMS. Section 3, appropriations in the general fund, Midway EMS are increased by $29,974 for ambulance repairs. This appropriation is funded from the fund balance in the general fund. Section 4, appropriations in the general fund are increased by $555,600 to allow for an additional transfer to the capital equipment replacement fund. This appropriation is funded from fund balance in the general fund. Section 5, authorized and budgeted positions in the general fund vehicle maintenance are increased to include a fleet manager. No additional appropriations are needed. Section 6, budgeted positions in the general fund emergency preparedness are increased to include an emergency services manager. No additional appropriations are needed. Section 7, personnel service expenditures in the general fund are increased by $475,000. No additional appropriations are needed. Section 8, personnel services expenditures in the County Fire District 1 fund are increased by $60,000. No additional appropriations are needed. Section 9, personnel service expenditures in Midway Fire District 1 fund are increased by $93,000. No additional appropriations are needed. Section 10, personnel service expenditures in the Victim Services Fund are increased by $6,900. No additional appropriations are needed. Section 11, personnel service expenditures in the Aging Services Fund are increased by $3,200. No additional appropriations are needed. Section 12, personnel service expenditures in the Economic Development Fund are increased by $6,000. No additional appropriations are needed. Section 13, personnel service expenditures in the Law Enforcement Fund are increased by $348,000. No additional appropriations are needed. Section 14, appropriations in the Law Enforcement Fund, Sheriff's Department are increased by $133,800 for an additional vehicle and equipment for beach patrol. This appropriation is funded by a transfer from the Local Hospitality and Accommodations Tax Fund. Section 15, appropriations in the Local Hospitality and Accommodations Fund are increased by the $133,800 to allow for an additional transfer to the Law Enforcement Fund for an additional vehicle and equipment for beach patrol. This appropriation is funded from fund balance in the Local Hospitality and Accommodations Fund. Section 16, appropriations in the Capital Equipment Replacement Plan, non-departmental, is increased by $555,600 for equipment and vehicle replacements. This appropriation is funded by a transfer from the general fund. Section 17, personnel service expenditures and the Environmental Services Fund are increased by $44,000. No additional appropriations are needed. And Section 18, personnel service expenditures in the Stormwater Fund are increased by $6,400. No additional appropriations are needed.
Thank you.
Ma'am, I've got a question. The third line item, the special election, which special election is that?
That was my understanding is that was where one of the council stepped down and they had to do a reelection through the school district.
Which council? The Georgetown County Council?
The school district.
Okay, the school,
district.
okay. So we're covering that, not the school board?
We will be reimbursed by them.
Oh, okay. All right, great. So that's going to zero out.
Correct.
All right, that's the right answer. Thank you.
Are there any further questions from Ms. Colgrove? Hearing none, the chair will entertain an ordinance or a motion on ordinance 25-50, an amendment to the 2025-26 budget ordinance.
So moved.
Motion to approve by Councilor Newton. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Mercado. Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hands. All opposed, motion carries.
Thank you.
Move down to first reading of ordinances. The following ordinances are to be read into the record by title only. Ordinance number 25-51, rezone 1 acre tract located on the northern side of Margot Lane, Emerald's Inlet, section of Georgetown County from split zone forest agricultural and general commercial to general commercial, TMS number 41-04, 02-016-01-07 in Council District 1, Ordinance 25-52 to amend the Willbrook Planned Development PD located at 160 Willbrook Boulevard in Litchfield to add a medical office, professional office, personal services, and clinical space to the list of uses, TMS number 04-0409-001-020-00 in Council District 6. Ordinance number 25-53 to rezone one parcel totaling approximately 31.47 acres located at 655 Chip Mill Road in Georgetown County from forest agriculture to heavy industrial, TMS number 01-0404-002-02-00 in Council District 3. Ordinance number 25-54 to amend the comprehensive plan of future land use map to reflect the redesignation of tax map parcel 01-0404-002-02-00 located at the southern side of Andrews off Chip Mill Road in Georgetown County from rural residential and conservation agricultural to employment in Council District 3. Ordinance number 25-55 to rezone two parcels totaling 1.39 acres located at 2401 North Fraser Street and 68 Jessamine Avenue in Georgetown from the Yawkey Medical Center Plan Development PD to general commercial, TMS number 02-01-03-031-01-00 and 02-0103-031-04-00 in Council District 7. Ordinance 25-56, an ordinance to amend the comprehensive plan, future land use map to reflect the redesignation of tax map parcels 02-0103-031-01-00 and 02-0103-031-04-00 located at 2401 North Fraser Street and 68 Jessamine Avenue in Georgetown from residential to commercial corridor in Council District 7. Move down to the approval of minutes, the regular council meeting minutes for November 18th. There a motion on the floor?
So moved.
So moved by Councilor Charles. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Mercado. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hands. All opposed? The minutes are approved. We move to executive session to discuss contractual matters pursuant to SC Code annotated 30-4-70A2 in accordance with the procedures of annotated 30-4-70B with the understanding that upon return to open session, the council may take a vote on any matters discussed. Is there a motion to enter into executive session?
So moved.
So moved by Councilor Newton. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Mercado. Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hands. All opposed? We are now in executive session. Executive session, please note no actions or votes were taken during executive session. Is there a motion to return to open session? So moved by Councilman Mercado. Is there a second? Second by Councilman Moran. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hands. Back in open session. Is there any further business that needs to come before council at this time?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Councilman Moran.
I have a motion that I would like to make. Mr. Chairman, I move that we authorize our county administrator and other staff as she designates and to review and bring back a plan with cost and funding to address flooding issues, stormwater issues, drainage along roads, and fire stations with staffing issues in the western part of the county.
You've heard the motion from Councilman Moran. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Cooper. Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed, motion carries. Is there any further business that needs to come before council?
Yes, Chairman Elliott. I've
Councilman
got
Mercado.
a motion as well. Move to authorize county administrator, county attorney, county staff as they may designate and negotiate to enter into contract, subject to due diligence and council approval for the purchase of Project Sandpit up to asking price, final price to be negotiated.
You've heard the motion from Councilman Mercado. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Charlton. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hands. All opposed? Motion carries 6-1. Is there any further business, further business that needs to come before council at this time? Hearing none, Chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So moved by Councilor Anderson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Morant. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hands. All opposed? We're stand adjourned. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.